This question presents a young tomato plant positioned near a window. It also illustrates cells taken from two distinct parts of the plant. Position X is the leaf area, while position Y is the stem area. It is mentioned that cells of position X divide continuously and grow larger, eventually maturing into cells like those seen in position Y. Cells of positions X and Y vary in size and shape. As depicted in the diagram, the cells of position X are smaller, box-shaped, and contain only a nucleus. In contrast, the cells of position Y resemble typical plant cells, with a nucleus, other organelles, and appear turgid. Now, we need to provide two additional differences. So, we will write that the cell of position Y contains chloroplasts, while the cell of position X lacks chloroplasts. And the cell of position Y has a large, prominent central vacuole, while the cell of position X does not. Additionally, you can also note that the cytoplasmic area in the cell of position Y is larger than in the cell of position X. You can include any two of these points to earn the full 2 marks. Next, once again, we have a question related to plant tissues, which we will explore in more detail in Chapter 6. However, it is also connected to Chapter 1, where we discussed this tissue extensively, so here I will provide a brief overview. The image here is a photomicrograph of a plant tissue, and the question is asking us to identify and label its structures. This letter J represents the phloem, while the letter K is the xylem, and together, they are found in the vascular bundle of the plant tissue, labeled as L here. Since we've already covered plant tissues multiple times in this chapter, I've included this question in these practice past papers. In the question, it's simply asking for the names of these structures which we have identified in the photomicrograph. We will write that J is the phloem, K is the xylem, and in the second question, we will write the name of the group of tissues labeled as L above, as the vascular bundle. Next, we have a question from paper 1. The question asks which description best applies to red blood cells. Recall that red blood cells are animal cells, meaning they do not have a cell wall. They also have a biconcave shape, with a slight indentation in the middle, and lack a nucleus. This absence of both a cell wall and a nucleus contributes to the unique shape. Therefore, option A is correct, as the lack of both the cell wall and nucleus is a key characteristic of red blood cells. The next question asks which description of the function of root hairs is correct. Let's go through the options. We can eliminate option A, because root hair cells absorb water through osmosis and ions through active transport. However, ions cannot be absorbed by osmosis in root hair cells. Option B is also incorrect because ions are not absorbed by osmosis. Option C is wrong as well, since water is not absorbed through active transport. Therefore, option D is the correct answer because root hair cells absorb water by osmosis and ions by active transport. This process will be further explored in Chapter 3. This is a question about the permeability of the cell wall and cell membrane in plant cells. We know that the cell wall is freely permeable, while the cell membrane is partially permeable. Let's evaluate the options. Option A is incorrect because it states that both the cell wall and membrane are freely permeable. While option B is the correct answer, as it accurately states that the cell wall is freely permeable and the cell membrane is partially permeable. Therefore, option C and option D are incorrect. This question is again related to plant tissue, with the diagram showing a section through a leaf of a dicotyledonous plant. The question asks which cells in the tissue are responsible for photosynthesis, a topic we will cover in Chapter 6. Cell 1 is the upper epidermis, which lacks chloroplasts, so it does not participate in photosynthesis. Cells 2 and 3 contain chloroplasts and are involved in photosynthesis. Cell 4 consists of the guard cells, which regulate the entry and exit of gases and also contain chloroplasts. Therefore, cells 2, 3, and 4 are responsible for photosynthesis, making option C the correct answer.